Lesson 8.4, Video 3. Here we have a little bit more work to do. So if we go ahead and start the same process of trying to get the squared term alone, which in this case would be this, we would add 45 first. And that gives us 5. X minus 4 squared equals 45. Divide both sides by 5. And x minus 4 quantity squared equals 9. Now we have a binomial being squared, but the rule is still the same. We undo a square, because it's isolated now, by square rooting. And that gives us x minus 4 equals, in the same scenario on the right side, a plus minus 3. The difference now is we actually have one more step, and that's to get x alone. So we add 4 to both sides. And what does that look like? Well, it looks like x equals 4 plus or minus 3, which means 4 plus 3 and 4 minus 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7, 4 minus 3 is 1. So we have two answers. Just like before where we had two answers, a plus minus 3 or a plus minus 4. Now we just have two answers, but not the same number written twice. Or, excuse me, a positive number and a negative number of the same value. Let's take a look at one more. We'd start by, again, trying to isolate this. So we'll subtract 41, and we get negative, parentheses, x plus 6, quantity squared, equals negative 36. We have a negative out front, negative 1, so divide by negative 1. We get x plus 6 equals 36, x plus 6 squared equals 36. Now that the root is isolated, we can undo it. And we get x plus 6 equals a plus minus 6. We now subtract 6 from both sides, and we get x equals a negative 6 plus or minus 6. Which means we have negative 6 plus 6, which is 0, and negative 6 minus 6, which is negative 12. Two different answers. And this ends Lesson 8.4, Video 3.